Hi guys, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys how I make this Bubu Kaftan dress with a big V neckline design. As you can see, this is something I made for a client. So if you are interested in learning how to go about this, please keep on watching. And if you are still here to subscribe to the channel, please kindly hit on that subscribe button and let's get started. Okay. So guys, to make this dress, you will need just two different type of fabric. So you will need a black fabric of your choice. This one I have here is about half yard and it's a net fabric, okay? And you also need an Ankara print of your choice. This one I have here is about 4 yard. This is because my client is quite tall and she also need a little bit of head tie. So what I have here is 4 yard so that you don't have any reason to start joining your fabric at the down part, okay? So for the length of this fabric from the top of one border to the other, we have about 45 inches, and that is not enough for the length of my client for this bubu. And I really do not want to start to joining the length of this dress, so I'm going to use the longer length of my Ankara fabric to fold it. So I'm going to fold my fabric into 4 and go ahead to measure my client's actual measurements, okay? And this edge here, that's the folded part. That's where I'm going to take my client's measurements. So now for the width of my neckline, because I'm drafting directly on my fabric, I'll just mark it as now at 2.5 inches. So by the time we are done sewing it, we fall back into 3 inches, okay? Now for the depth, I will come down by 2 inches and just connect the two of them together into a round neckline. Okay, from the center, I'm going to measure half of my client's measurement, shoulder measurement. So I'm going to mark that here. So now from the shoulder measurement point, you are going to determine how long you want your sleeve to be. For this particular client, she wanted the sleeve to be about 14 inches, but because we are going to be having a black design at the end of this sleeve, so instead of marking it exactly at 14 inches, I'm going to stop it at 12 inches point. So I'm going to mark my shoulder slope and connect to the top of my neckline. This one is actually optional. You can decide to omit this part, okay? So I'm just trying to connect it to each other. So now from this new shoulder line here, you are going to measure how wide you want the sleeve to be. So I'm going to make this as like the 40 inches line because we need some allowance to join this on the top and also on the side. So just try and connect that together. So now from the shoulder, I measure down to 12 inches, which is my client's bust line. My clients have a bust of 44 inches and a hip of 44 inches. So now I just divided our bust measurements into 4. I made the point here and then I added an extra 5 inches to it. From that point, because this is supposed to be a free dress, okay? Okay, now if your hip is the biggest part of your body, which is likely the cases for most people, just go ahead and divide your hip measurement by 4, make a point and add an extra 5 or 4 inches to it. So just use that measurement to measure all the way down as you see me doing. I'm using the bust measurement of my client here because, like I said earlier, our bust measurement here is the same thing as our hip measurement. Our bust measurement is 44 inches and our hip measurement is also 44 inches. So make sure you use your hip measurement if your hip measurement is more bigger than your bust. Now I'm going to mark my measurement all the way down and make sure my measurement is actually correct. So now I've gotten to the down part. I already added the stitching allowance to join it at the end. So now this is the full dress. So now just go ahead and cut it out. Okay. So for now we have only cut out a round neckline, which is the back neckline we used to cut out both the front and the back neckline. So now I'm going to, after cutting it, I'm just trying to cut it out. So after cutting it, I'm going to separate my front and the back. So now I'm going to remove the back piece and change the neckline of the front piece. So I'm just trying to separate it from each other. And for the V neckline, I'm placing my tape on the front neckline like this, and I'm going to slant it in a V manner and mark a point at 9 inches because my clients might not want it to be too deep. So you can decide to make your own longer than that, but I'm stopping my own at 9 inches, okay? Because I don't want it to be too deep. So after that, I'm going to use my ruler to connect it together. So after connecting it, I'm going to go ahead and cut it out, okay? So yeah, this is basically how to go about it. And when you open it, it's a V neckline. This is going to be the front of our dress. You can see how lovely and neat this is looking. So I'm just trying to arrange it very well and set it aside. So now for the design around the neckline, I've folded this black fabric into two. When you are folding it, make sure it's wide enough and long enough to get to your waist area. So I'm going to I'm going to cut out the excess part. So when you are folding it, make sure your black fabric is long enough to get to your waist area because that's how long the black design is going to be on the dress. So from the center fold, you are going to place your front neckline exactly on it as you can see me doing. You are going to place it exactly on it as you see me doing, and you can also decide to iron your own out if you like. So after that, I'll go ahead and pin it down. After pinning it down, I'm going to cut out my neckline. So after cutting it out, you can now remove your pin and remove the front pattern. Now the neckline has been drawn into this black fabric, as you can see. So now you're going to determine how you want your length, the length of your black fabric, black design to be. And it's going to end at my client's waistline. And our waist is about 17 inches. I just decided to mark it down here. Then from the neckline, I'm going to go into the shoulder area by 5 inches after marking my 17 inches. So just go into your shoulder line by 5 inches. So just make the points there and then use a ruler to connect it to each other. Just to give it a V-shaped neckline. And then go ahead to cut it out when you are done connecting. So I'm going to cut it out now. So now this is it. So if you open it up, you can see this is a V shape. Now you are going to bring your front pattern and you are going to be placing the neckline. Make sure when you are placing it, make sure the wrong side of your fabric, make sure the wrong side of the fabric is facing you, and also face the wrong side of the black pattern towards you. Let the wrong side of this black pattern be facing you for these 4 stitches, okay? So you're not going to make any mistakes. So I'm going to place it on each other like so. So after that, I'll go ahead and pin it down. So after pinning it down, I will just make a stitch around my neckline. I've stitched it down now, and I will just go ahead to make a notches around the neckline. This will make it easy for me to turn it over to the right side before we iron it out, okay? So guys, once you are done making your notches, you will go ahead and turn it over to the other side, just like you see me doing. So after that, just bring in your ironing clothes or whatever you use to iron, and then iron it out nicely. Make sure it is well ironed so that the neckline will look nice and clean. And also guys, you can decide to secure it down with an hemi gum if you have. And if you don't have an hemi gum, you can just use your iron to just put it in place, just like my own. It's just to be easy for you to stitch down around your to stitch it down with your sewing machine, okay? So once you are done ironing it out, you just go ahead and stitch it down with your sewing machine. You have to be very patient when you are doing this because there is a high chances of it bending if you don't do it well, okay? And now for the back piece, remember our back piece is going to be having a simple round neckline. I have cut out a facing for it for the back piece, and I'm going to iron it out and hold it down with an hemi gun just to secure the edges and now allow the neckline to sit pretty on my back piece. Just try to make a stitch around there and then notch it. So when you are done notching, so bring out your ironing clothes and iron it nicely and hold it down with an hemi gum just for it to sit pretty, okay? So I'm just trying to iron it out so it's going to look neat. So I'm through with that, and you can see how neat and well placed the neckline is looking. So after that, we'll be joining the back piece and the front piece together. So I've brought out the front right here, as you can see. So I'm going to cover it up with the back pattern, right side facing each other. So I'm going to go ahead and pin down the shoulder, just so you can see me doing. Go ahead and pin down the shoulder. I will do the same for the other side as well. And once you are through pinning it down, it's very simple. Just go ahead and make a stitch here and here as well. Okay, so guys, I'm just stitching it down on the shoulder, as you can see. So the next thing is for us to go ahead and add the black design around the sleeve area. Remember, we reduced the sleeve area by 2 inches because of this black design here. Just place it in the right side facing each other and run a stitch. Okay, so guys, this is what I have after I was done sewing, as you can see. So I'm going to turn over everything to the wrong side. I will arrange the side so that I can go ahead to stitch down the side of my dress. So just make a stitch round there all the way down. Guys, I will go ahead and stitch it from the sleeve all the way down to the end of my dress, and of course you are going to do the exact same thing for the other side as well. So guys, once you are done stitching it down, you go ahead and turn it over to the right side, as you can see me doing here. You can see how lovely and neat this is looking. I went ahead to iron my own out. You can see how neat and well placed this is looking. Very neat and simple to achieve. So guys, this is basically all for this tutorial. So this is the full dress all made. It is actually very simple. The only technical part of it is just the free neckline that you just need to be very patient with when you are sewing. Okay, so thank you so much for watching to this moment. I later embellished my own with some stone, just like my client wanted it. So thank you once again for watching, guys, and please, if you are yet to subscribe to the channel, please kindly hit on that subscribe button. Don't forget to turn on your notification bell to always get notified anytime I post a new video. And don't forget to drop that comment, that lovely comment, like and share with your family and friend. And I'm going to see you in my next one. Thank you. Mary Jim, love you all. Bye guys.